Higher education has been an aspiration for high schoolers for decades. Part of the American dream is attending college and securing a high-paying job, so it's not surprising that the number of students who attend college has been steadily increasing. According to the Education Data Initiative, 8 million students enrolled in college in 1970. In 2025, almost 16 million students enrolled in college. However, the cost of college has risen dramatically. The average annual cost of tuition at a public college is 40 times what it was in 1963. After adjusting for inflation, tuition has increased by 312%. My name is Bea Roberts. I'm a senior at Walter Johnson High School, and today we're going to explore whether the cost of a diploma is worth it, today and in the future. Although it's seemingly a good thing that people are going to college, it's reminiscent of the 2008 housing bubble. Going into 2006, the housing market was at an all-time high. For decades, the price of houses had been steadily rising as more and more people took out mortgages and put down smaller down payments. Almost everyone was positive that the value of their homes would continue to increase, so many people were taking out massive loans to pay for them, assuming that they would eventually be able to pay them off. However, the bubble had to pop eventually. As the stock market crashed, millions were left with mortgages they couldn't pay off. Sound familiar? As a country, it feels like we're reaching a tipping point where the value of a college degree isn't going to be worth the price very soon. An undergraduate degree from a private university can cost as much as $400,000. That could buy you a house in many places. But it seems like students are willing to foot the bill. College counselor Gail Evans says that students at WJ used to apply to an average of 5 to 7 schools, where they now apply to an average of 15 to 20. And students are applying to more out-of-state schools than they used to, which can be double the price of in-state options. I spoke with senior Jacintha Perianigam to try and understand why students are willing to pay this much for a degree and whether costs will continue to rise.
I think a lot of jobs do require that college degree, and as a child of immigrants who came to this country, my mom wasn't able to finish her college degree in India, and so when it came to her finding jobs, she really had to work from the bottom up. And so for a person like me, I grew up in a household that education is the most important thing ever, and I don't think that's ever not gonna be important, especially when you grow up with people who've instilled a mindset of you need to go to college. College degree is what is going to set you up for life. I think it's really dependent on the way you're raised and how you view a lot of things. Yes, the cost of college is absolutely insane. It's insane. I wanted to apply to a lot of schools out of state, and I chose not to just because logically as an 18-year-old, I don't want to go into debt this early on in my life. I'm just legally an adult, and to accumulate so much debt is pretty crazy. And so for me, I chose to logically the logical option of applying mostly in state, and those are my in-state schools are definitely my top choices when it comes to where I'm probably going to be going for college.
Yeah, I guess I just want to say, do you think it's going to keep getting more expensive? Because if you look, college has gotten progressively more expensive over the years. Do you think it's ever going to come down, or do you think it's going to plateau? I just think we're on an unsustainable course where we have so many kids wanting to go to college and going into debt to go there. And I just don't think it can last,
Yeah, but the issue is that it is lasting, right? That even though that to go to Columbia, Columbia, this undergraduate degree, I think the total cost of attendance at Columbia is $100K a year, and there are still people who are willing to pay the $100K a year, which shows how much we've made, how crucial the college name is, like the prestige, the university. We have honestly, as like students and as people in general, our society has, I think we're the reason that it's gotten this bad is because we feed into it, right? Because there are jobs that if you have that Harvard degree, like you're going to get in, right? That prestige, it's not just paying for your education anymore. It's paying for prestige. It's paying for opportunities in the future. It's paying for more. It's become more than education. It's honestly like, you can argue this is a marketing thing, that this is just like college is trying to make money. And honestly, you really could, because you have schools like UMD, like everyone here pays taxes, and UMD gets a portion of our Maryland taxes, and yet they do not prioritize in-state students, and they really want out-of-state students because obviously they're going to make more money. So you can just say that all of this, like college has turned from a noble pursuit of education into something that is commercialized and is purely for profit.
As the class of 2026 gets their decisions back and weighs their options, the question of cost will be a major factor in where students commit. While the future for college costs is unclear, students are hopeful that their investment will pay off.